Welcome to our live webinar. This is the first event of the Vue in Business series, where we showcasing real-world applications of Vue.js across various industry verticals. And today we are going to dive into the HR tech space with the team behind SesameHR, a modern HR platform used by over 500,000 users across more than 30 countries. My name is Szymon Licau, and I'm an engineering manager at Monterail. And today I'm joined by two guests, Mateusz and Francesc. Could you tell us a bit about SesameHR and what you do at Sesame?
So, hello. Can you see me? Hello, my name is Mateusz Magda, and I'm a lead front-end developer at Sesame here. I'm currently leading the work of 4 squads across time management and the communication.
Hi, I am Francesc. Inza. I'm a senior developer here in Sesame, and I've been working here for the past 6 years. And during this time, I built so many applications for this company, and I led the R&D efforts for quite a while. For inviting us.
Okay, thank you. So let's get this started. Could you tell us a bit more about what is Sesame? What are you basically doing there?
We'll have a very quick presentation. Can you see it well? Or is it a mirror flipped? Let's wait a second. We just prepared a small, very quick presentation about the SesameHR, just to let you know what is the system that we are talking about, and later we'll be speaking about the Vue in our projects. So what is SesameHR? It is a human resources system that allows the companies to manage their employees. And I'll just quickly browse through the most important core features of the system. There is much more, but I'll just mention some of them. So the first feature that was introduced in the system, and that was like an internal need of the company, was the clock-ins, clock-outs. This is a feature that allows the users to clock in and clock out of the work in the real time, reflect these changes in many different views, to their coworkers, to their administrators, and we store the historical records. We have custom alerts, and we have dashboards to make the analysis of those. Then the next very important core feature of our system is the time of management. Okay, so each user of Sesame can ask for their vacations, their sick leave, their permissions, and the administrators on the other side can manage these requests. Then we have, like I said, it is a whole system, like a very big admin panel. So of course, a lot of a big part of the system is the configuration side. So we have plenty of configurations of different options for serving for different countries to make it suitable for each and every company among different countries that we are present. Here's an example of the configuration of calendars that is quite complex, because you can configure sick leave, and you can configure permissions, vacations with different types, like per hours, per days. Different departments can have different settings, and it is all being set in our admin panel. So that's the main project. And then we have, can we pass to another slide? Yeah. Then we have the mobile experience. We have a custom tailor-made application for our end users, which basically serves for our employees that are wanting to get into their office and clock in, clock out. But also it has many different features, like, for example, the absences. They can request their vacation on their mobile. They don't have to enter to the big panel to do a simple action. And on the other side, we have some of the functionalities of admin panel inside of the app. So the administrators can go and manage these requests. Okay. Then we have the tablet view, and the tablets are usually devices that stand at the entrance to the company, where through the face recognition or the code or QR code or NFC cards, you can clock in, clock out from your job. Okay. And then, because we will also be speaking about the AI aspects and how we use AI in our day-to-day work and how did we apply the AI into the product, so I prepared some examples of the AI in our product. So the basis is the chat. So we implemented the chat functionality that is streamed, like it is streaming the answers, has a knowledge about our system, about the configuration of the company, and it can propose the actions for you. So you can write with you can speak with the chat, and it can propose you to create a new survey, for example. So we have different functionalities. AI chat exit. Can we switch the slide, please? We skip one. Okay. Problem solver. So the first functionality is like publishing a job offer. You can be speaking with the chat about the job offer that you want, the position that you want, that you're looking for. You can make a short description giving the requirements, and then it will just generate for you the description and the title for the job offer and redirect you to the function to the place where you can publish the job offer. Then the survey creator. You can create a survey, and the chat will prepare for you the questions, the answer, the possible answers. Then you can review it, you can edit it, and publish among your coworkers. Then another and the last, I think, here included functionality will be announcements. So you can again speak with the chat, and he can propose you to, for example, make an announcement to all of your company coworkers or just a certain department about the upcoming event. Like we had recently the opening of the new offices in Valencia, and yeah, you can generate this stuff and make your day-to-day work easier, like mostly the work of human resources department. So that will be it about the Sesame.
Okay, thank you, Mateusz. That is quite a lot. It looks like Sesame is a very big and complex platform. But speaking more about Vue projects or application itself, could you break down which parts of this whole system are actual Vue applications?
Yes, of course. Thank you for the question. Basically, all of our front-end applications are written in Vue. So that's the main application that I was talking about is the Sesame panel, like we call it front-end Sesame, but it's like the main admin panel dashboard application, in which you can create all these configurations, adjust the system to your needs, and so on. Then the second most important project is the app that is used daily on a daily basis, like more than 100,000 users. And it is more like it has less functionalities, but it's not less important because it's used by many users on a daily basis. You can clock in, you can clock out, you can ask for vacations, you can enter to the office using QR code, and many more. Then we have two projects for tablets, Wall 2, Wall 3, and the recently created Boost project, which serves for measuring engagement and performance of your coworkers.
Okay, thank you for this breakdown. And how about the team size? How many people, how many Vue developers do you have at Sesame?
I had to count it because it's keep changing constantly. We are 27 front-end developers and 56 in total, like all developers, 56. And these numbers are constantly changing. So if you want to apply, we're open.
Okay, thank you. So let's maybe get a little bit deeper into why and how did you actually start your journey with Vue. So what were the challenges? What were the objectives that led you to introduce Vue.js to your projects?
Well, it wasn't like a challenge, I would say, because the reason we wanted to change to another thing, it was when I started in Sesame like 6 years ago, we had Cake PHP and jQuery in the main stack, and it served us well for the first years, but we quickly needed some kind of tech stack that led us to scale up very quickly and very in a good way. So we started looking for reactive frameworks. So when we were looking at them, it's not a very we weren't like hoping for so much. We just wanted to have a modern stack. So the reason was that I already knew Vue in that time, and the learning curve of Vue is so gentle, so very good for new people. So it was very easy to start working with other two frontends. That we were three in that time, and we were quickly learning, and we were quickly being proactive in the first 2 weeks. So it was a very good decision, I think. Yeah. So the challenges were none, because in the first place, the two-way binding was working out of the box, and that was very refreshing, and we are very proud to use Vue.
Okay, thank you for these insights. And maybe a question to Mateusz. You have been leading this technical vision behind Sesame for over 7 years, and you've been working closely with Vue with that. How has this vision been changing over time? We had some quite exciting developments in Vue. We had Vue 3 and so on. So how did it look like?
I'm actually here at Sesame 3 years, but the 7 years I've been working with Vue directly. So from my perspective, what has changed during that time? The most impactful, I would say, change was the change from Vue 2 to Vue 3. And what's coming with it is the options to composition API. That's a very impactful change. But also, not less important, like the change of paradigm to functional. Everything changed from the object oriented to functional. So that's another very important aspect, in my opinion. And what else? Like the reactive state that has changed to observe by proxies in Vue. That's a big change in Vue 3, and changes a lot in the matter of reactivity. And apart from these things, I would say like the building tool changed a lot. Like the introduction of Vite maybe 4 years ago or something, but it was made popular 2 years ago, depending on the project. That was a big change, because when we migrated from Webpack, which was used 7 years ago by the majority of the projects, front-end projects, I would say, to Vite, then we managed to improve the build times from around 20 minutes, 25 minutes even, to 3 minutes. Now we are in 1.5 minutes for the build for production of our application. Like I'm talking about the main application, which has 9,000 modules. So it's quite big. 4,000 components, 9,000 modules.
And what about the other parts of your tech stack? What do you use besides Vue and Vite?
Yeah, so I'll begin. Maybe, yeah. So to begin with, the Tailwind 3, for example, for the styles, it helps us a lot to scale, to reuse styles, and not to be worried about the correct reusing of classes of the whole BEM. and then Piña for the storage, for storing data in frontend in the RAM memory. Then we had a storybook. Unfortunately, we lost it for the moment of migration. We haven't had it, like we didn't migrate the main project. We have all other apps of Sesame migrated, but the main project is still not is still using internally is using Vue. Even though we write in composition API and use new stuff, but internally we are building using the last version of Vue 2. And yeah, as a but the storybook as when we will migrate to Vue 3. As soon as we do that, we have plans to going back because we have we already have it mounted. So this and the build tool, I already told you that it is a Vite 6 in particular, and like maybe just to mention the connection of asynchronous communication with backend is done with WebSocket and some places with Pusher.
Yeah, and with the native, we will talk about this, but with the native apps, we use Capacitor. Capacitor is a framework to make make web languages to work inside a native API, so a native app, a native web app. So it led us to use Vue across all our projects. So we are building our native or hybrid apps. We are building that with Vue 2 and all the other tech stack. So all the apps had the same tech stack. The mobile apps have the Capacitor one added. So we can build so many tools that works across projects.
Okay, thank you. So maybe a follow-up question, because I've been hearing that you are using both Vue 2 and Vue 3. So it sounds like you have been dealing with migration, and this question is I'm curious about. That also has been coming up in our latest State of Vue.js report developer survey. And we had over 25% developers finding migration to Vue 3 quite a challenge. And how was it in your case?
Okay, so in our case, we have many apps, but they are all already migrated, apart from one, the big one that we are talking about, the panel, that admin, dashboard, etc. So the other projects were small in comparison, so it was easy to migrate them from Webpack to Vite, and then from Vue 2 to Vue 3. But in the case of this big project, we have the panel is very complicated, and we had to do it by modules or something like that. So we attack the generic components, the generic components that we use across the app, and then we were like more focusing on migrating the sections, the pages, with all these generic components already migrated. And our approach right now is very progressive. We have now a branch and a server with the Vue 3 implementation, and we are keeping our master. And with every feature we develop, on everything we do, we need to do it so close to the implementation of Vue 3. I don't know if you can understand. We develop features with Vue 2, but we need to then change like the input and props, names, and then merge it to the Vue 3 branch. And we are keeping the two, and we are testing right now very heavily the Vue 3.1. So it's very challenging, but well, we are very focused on that.
Yeah, sounds like there is still a lot of work ahead of you, but yeah, looks like there have been a lot of challenges. But it is to be expected considering how the whole platform of Sesame has been growing. And on this note, actually, because you definitely have grown as well as a team, you are now reaching, I think, 300 people. So, how did you adjust your team, your workflow, working with all of these applications?
I'll answer maybe. So it is difficult. It is very difficult. It is about standards above the personal preferences of developer. I know that each and every one. We are 27 front-end developers and still growing. So we have to stick to some standards that we have defined. We have many ES-linked rules, and we all of us, like each and every front-end developer, has it like mandatory implemented on safe. That on safe, each and every file is safe with the formatting and with everything standardized. Uh, in future, we plan to implement it into the continuous integration, like to parse the project through as ESLint as one of the steps in the continuous integration. And then we have some testing phase in the continuous integration that checks whether a new developer doesn't want to break the project. So we have some patterns defined that we know are dangerous, and we just prevent, like the build won't pass if it happens, if it detects that. What else? We have Git hooks defined. We have Sentry and Elastic. Sentry for error tracking, and Elastic to monitorize the health check of the website, like the time that it takes to load the website and so on. So we monitorize it each deploy. And we are currently in the process of going from the daily deploys to weekly deploys. When I first entered the company, we were having a couple of deploys per day. Then we changed it to limit to 2 per day. Then we changed it to have 1 per day. And now that's currently the first week that we're having like a release, and we'll be working with the releases, like all of the 27 front-end developers will be working all of the week. The first day will be freezing this branch and moving to release, and then we'll cross-validate the features. So these are some of the aspects that we applied to survive, to keep it stable with the growing number of developers.
Yeah, thank you for these insights. It's always interesting to hear about the challenges that we experience, especially in bigger projects and bigger teams. And one question I would follow up here is, because of this growing scale, how Vue itself is helping you scale up your project?
So Vue3 helps in several ways, but I would say the bigger one is this. So we already talk about that we all our applications are built in Vue. So it's very easy, like I said before, have some utilities or packages shared across these applications. So this is the case for us because with the with this functional paradigm that offers Vue3, it led us to build a core package, okay, a core module for us to share across projects. It introduces for us the hexagonal architecture for the DDD that we have in the backend. So it's easy to communicate with the backend. And this core is written in a, it don't feel forced because of Vue3 and the composition API. Okay, so, I think in Vue2 and object oriented would be more difficult to implement this in a don't force way and on or overly complex. So this Vue3 is helping us to scale very fast with this module. We have I said, this core module. We have this backend integration inside. We have the design system, and we are using it across all projects. And it's so easy for us, even a startup and a new project with all these packages, and with Vue 3, we have it all tied together.
Okay, thank you. And maybe let's talk about a bit bigger picture. And how does Vue help achieve your business goals at Sesame?
I'll answer maybe. So we were already talking about the composables. I mentioned it, and the components that are in Vue very easy to reuse in different parts of the project. So that helps us achieve business goals in a fast and good way that we won't get lost in like among the lines of code. Then the mentioned before by Kiko low learning curve of the Vue, we have in the real time front-end developers entering the project. So they are entering, and in a small amount of time, we expect from them to be productive. And that helps us a lot. Like Vue itself with the low learning curve helps us a lot, because in 1 week we have already like the first tasks done by the new coming developers, and that's great. That not always is the case. I heard about like 1 month of the buffer unless until the developer becomes productive. And I think I can say in most cases it is 1 week, and the developer just goes on its own. Then like the flexibility of Vue itself, like Vue always was quite flexible comparing, for example, to Angular. It allows you to do stuff. You don't have any forced structure of the project. You can do whatever you want almost, and then you can move very fast. If you leave anything behind, you can later change it, but at least you have the MVP already done and on production and some clients testing, and maybe it will occur that the functionality is great. Okay, let's go. Let's do it in a good way. Okay, but maybe sometimes it happens that okay, what was defined is not really what the clients were expecting, and we won't pursue this opportunity. Okay, so that's what I see as a helpful things from part of Vue, what helps us a lot in our day-to-day work. And then I would say another good aspect of Vue is that it is relatively easy to, I don't say it's easy, it's relatively easy to separate parts of the project. You can take some parts of your project, which we did. We separated like the new project of Boost initially was part of Sesame, but we divided it from Sesame because we needed to be more flexible, more agile with the deploys. We didn't want to affect our core production with a new coming project that is developing very, very fast. And that's it. It just got separated, and the developer that did it in a couple of days, and it was ready. So that's great. In other libraries or frameworks, it would take I think longer. So that helps us achieving our business goals. All of these things.
Thank you. Maybe I'll throw in a question from the audience because I think this is an interesting one. What kind of companies would you recommend Vue to?
What kind of companies? Whatever company that wants to start very quick with a front-end project and expect it to be scalable in the future. Yeah. So
yeah, maybe new companies. I don't wanna say I would recommend to a big company with already with a React stack to change the Vue. Could be, but it would be awesome, you know. But I don't know if I could recommend that. But yeah, for I don't know, for small companies, starting companies, if you want to build fast, I think Vue and the learning curve is the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have the other part of the question: how do you think AI will affect the future of HR tools? I think it will change drastically. Like the things will move much faster, and I hope we'll get a chance. We'll be talking about the tools that we use in AI further on. Yeah, so it will change dramatically, I would say.
I agree. Following up maybe on AI itself, how do you use AI in your day-to-day development work?
Yeah, yeah. It
go.
will be interesting because we are both developers, but we have different roles in the company. So we're gonna say I'm gonna talk about how I use it, and Mateus, it will be different, but it would be great. So in my day to day, I program a lot. So I use AI enhanced IDs all the time, like Cursor or Cloud ID, Cloud Code. Sorry. And I use them daily. I use them to write boilerplate faster, creating components, scaffolds. To explain, I need to maybe need to learn something about legacy code. I ask the AI to explain that to me, or to maybe to write features and tasks. And I often do this because humans forget everything. So the AI can take into account some things that we may missed. So for writing documentation or features tasks is very, very good. And then of course predictive way the AI has to know what you want to code, and then you just have to tap the tab key, and on and on. In the end, I use it to enhance my workflow, to be more faster, to be more efficient and more productive. So now, Mateus.
Okay, so I'm kind of a mix of both things. Like I'm both programming and managing, and it depends largely on the week, on the current week. Sometimes I have more of a programming, and sometimes I have more of managing work to do. But in both, I use AI very widely. So to begin with something like the code review process I mentioned, we have a lot of employees. We have 27 front-end developers producing the code constantly. And I'm like the last check before the code goes to production. I have to ensure that no breaking changes, no risky changes enter on production. Nothing will fail, nothing will break. So apart from my experience and my code review that I always do, I always try to do my best reviewing the code. I think it's very crucial. Apart from that, we use the Code Rabbit. So we have a friend. We have another friend reviewing the code. Sometimes it gives you hints that are worthless, but sometimes, and it has its own code base, like the knowledge base. So it sometimes learns, sometimes not. It's like an AI. But I really appreciate it a lot. It helps me a lot in my day-to-day work. We already had some situations that it saved our lives. So it's one of the most important aspects. Then, of course, like the migration from the options to composition API, it does it for you on the fly. Like it doesn't take time. In 2 seconds, you have it generated, and it only needs to be like reviewed, and you only have to tweak some small options. But it's I would say one of the other applications where I use it the most and where I see developers using it the most. Then we have like the research part. in my day-to-day work, I do a lot of research, both on the optimization part of the code of the project, how to make it work faster, how to make it work better with large amount of data. And this kind of research, I use it a lot, but I would say you can't be a junior programmer to use it for code optimization, because I often see a lot of things that break the code. Like the code seem to be optimized, seem to work better, seem to be more legit or whatever else, but it just breaks in some cases. So I use my experience to detect these cases and apply these changes. And I treat it as it would be a pair programming from another with another coworker, with another front-end developer. So this, what else? Tedious task, of course. Whatever kind of tedious task I have to do, if I have to make a loop over X files, thousands of files, and browse through something looking for some information, I use AI. Whenever I have to write a script, like helper script in Bash, which I personally don't like, I use an AI, and I make this script in using the AI, okay? And then the agents, but I don't know. Yeah, that would be it. That would be my answer.
Yeah, thank you both for the answers. It's definitely an interesting thing, and it's definitely early. There are still some hiccups in all of these tools. There is also so many of them, and so many to discover, follow, or research, but definitely things are changing in our day-to-day development. And maybe following up also on the note of AI, because I have seen on your presentation that you have been also delivering some AI features. How do you leverage AI in Sesame?
Yeah, so that's quite easy, because we have the main functionality of chat, and you interact with the chat like through streams, like the Microsoft package, and then we have the external project that is developed by. We have two AI developers, one lead and one AI developer, and they are their main goal is to develop every possible AI tool that the others need, and they are doing a great job at it. So we have the base of a chat, and then predefined actions that it can propose you if it understands from the context of the conversation that it matches. It's like it did pattern match into some action, then it proposes you to make for example, we have the announcements, we have the surveys, we have the evaluations of coworkers. Okay, that coworkers can evaluate one another, like one can make the evaluation of another from like developer or coworker, whatever. And then in the evaluation sections, and as well in the Boost project, which is kind of like evaluations version 2, that we use for the analysis of engagement and performance of the coworkers, we have the part of AI that makes you the analysis of the results. That's very interesting, because you have big companies hiring like 10,000 employees, and if they run the evaluation among one department, like the coworkers of one department can easily reach like 400 people. And then it is a very hard work to analyze the results. So we made a functionality to sum up, to summarize, and to analyze the results. And we have it done. And mentioned before the job posting functionality. That's also easy and nice, very useful for the HR teams. They are reporting us that it's very useful, and they don't have to write the announcements anymore. They just put the requirements that they obtain from usually a specialist. Like, for example, if we are hiring a front-end developer, Julian or myself will pass the requirements that that the developer has to meet to be hired in our company, and then they will just add the salary range and some other information, and it will be auto-generated. They don't have to write it anymore. And even the part of publishing it is automatized with the Sesame.
Yeah, but basically we use the AI inside Sesame to write a text, right? And then to explain some data, some big data. So yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. I guess this is it from the questions from myself. So once again, thank you both Mateusz and Francesc for coming, and thank you all for coming to our webinar as well. So if you want to learn more about Sesame or Monterail, there will be QR codes visible on the screen. So please visit us. And also I pass the mic to Mateusz or Francesc. If you have any last words, you can say them.
I'm just looking at the chat if there are some more questions from the audience. Maybe you have some questions. I just want to appreciate you for having us here. That's the first time actually that we're participating in such thing, and it was a pleasure.
Likewise, it was very nice to hear the insights from companies that use Vue, and especially in big projects such as the Sesame. So yeah, it was very exciting and interesting to hear you.
Yeah, thank you for having us again.
Thanks again.
Thank you.